5 years ago, about 5 feet from where I am standing right now, President Obama told lawmakers and the American public in a specially called joint session of Congress on health care reform that, quote, under our plan, he said, no federal dollars will be used to fund abortion. That was September 9th, 2009. In an 11th hour ploy to garner support from a remnant of pro-life congressional Democrats, absolutely needed for passage of Obamacare, the President issued an executive order on March 24th, 2010, that said, and I quote, the Act, the Affordable Care Act that is, maintains current Hyde Amendment restrictions governing abortion policy and extends those restrictions to newly created health insurance exchanges. Turns out, Madam Speaker, the ironclad promises made by the President himself are absolutely untrue. Agree or disagree with public funding of abortion, and a significant majority of Americans oppose it, but no one likes to be misled. And today, as I think many of my colleagues know, a growing number of Americans are recognizing that abortion is violence against children and hurts women. Abortion methods rip, tear, and dismember or chemically poison the fragile bodies of unborn children. There is nothing benign, compassionate, or just about an act that utterly destroys a baby and often physically, psychologically, or emotionally harms the mother. At its core, Madam Speaker, and this has been missed by many, especially in the media, the Hyde Amendment has two parts. It prohibits funding for abortion, but it also prohibits funding for any insurance plan that includes abortion, except in the cases of rape, incest, or to save the life of the mother. And remember, the President stood here and then in his executive order said that the Act maintains the Hyde Amendment restrictions governing abortion and extends those restrictions to the newly created health insurance exchanges. That's what the executive order said, and yet now we know that is absolutely untrue. A comprehensive General Accountability Office report released this week documents massive new public funding for abortion in the President's new health care law. Like so many of the President's promises that litter the political landscape, GAO found that in 2014, taxpayers are funding over 1,000, let me repeat that, 1,000 Obamacare health plans that subsidize abortion on demand, even late-term abortion, decimating the Hyde Amendment that the President said he would honor. Again, if you fund the insurance plan, the purchase of a plan, it is a violation of the Hyde Amendment that the President said that he would extend to the newly created health insurance exchanges. According to the General Accountability Office, in their findings, every Obamacare taxpayer-funded health insurance plan in my own state of New Jersey, Connecticut, Vermont, Rhode Island, and Hawaii pays for abortion on demand. Every one of them. In New York, a whopping 405 out of 426 Obamacare plans subsidize abortion on demand. In California, it's 86 plans out of 90. In Massachusetts, 109 out of 111. In Oregon, 92 out of 102. In Washington, 23 of the 34 plans. And so it goes. According to the Congressional Budget Office, or CBO, their April 2014 estimate, Madam Speaker, between 2014 and 2024, taxpayer subsidies to buy Obamacare health plans will total $855 billion, making taxpayers unwittingly, wherever they live, complicit in abortion. GAO has also found that even an accounting trick embedded in Obamacare, requiring premium payers to be assessed a separate monthly abortion surcharge is being completely ignored. The surcharge added some modicum of transparency so individuals would know whether they are purchasing a pro-life or pro-abortion health insurance plan. Senator Ben Nelson of Nebraska summed up the plain meaning, the absolutely plain meaning of the law when he said, quote, "You have to write 2 checks, one for the abortion coverage, one for the rest of the premium." According to the GAO, none of the 18 insurance companies they interviewed are billing the abortion surcharge separately. None. So much for the rule of law. Last year, members of Congress and some staff were barred from any further participation in the Federal Employees Health Benefits Plan, the FEHB, and compelled onto Obamacare exchanges. After months of misinformation, obfuscation, and delay, I finally learned that of the 112 plans offered on the exchange for my family, 103 of those plans pay for abortion on demand, a clear violation of the Smith Amendment, a Hyde-like amendment that I first sponsored on this floor back in 1983, and it has been the law of the land for all of these years except for 2 years during the Clinton administration. Madam Speaker, Americans throughout the country have raised very serious questions that they find it nearly impossible to determine whether the plan that they are purchasing finances and subsidizes the killing of unborn children. There is little or no transparency, hence the request by several members of Congress, including our distinguished Speaker, Speaker Boehner, that the General Accountability Office investigate. As the November 15th open enrollment approaches for Obamacare, we have no reason now to believe that the President's promise of the most transparent government in history will give consumers basic information about the abortion coverage. First, we were told it wouldn't be in there. Again, a promise made right from this podium, Madam Speaker. And then, by way of executive order, and now we can't even find out clearly and unmistakably which plans include abortion and which do not. To end President Obama's massive new funding of abortion on demand, Madam Speaker, last January, the House of Representatives passed my bill, a totally bipartisan bill, overwhelmingly, known as the No Taxpayer Funding for Abortion and the Abortion Insurance Full Disclosure Act. Madam Speaker, when our friend and colleague on the other side of this building, Harry Reid, was a member of the House, he was as pro-life as Henry Hyde. Now, as Senate Majority Leader, has refused to even allow H.R. 7 and its companion bill offered by Senator Wicker to come up for a vote. So with respect to the distinguished senator, and on behalf of the weakest and the most vulnerable, the unborn children, and those who will be hurt by abortion, their moms, I respectfully ask that he reconsider and post the legislation for a vote. I yield back the balance of my time.